Okay, so lesson 3 is about special journals. So if your business is in the merchandising operations, you will expect that there would be voluminous and repetitive transactions. So there would be a frequent recording of purchases, recording of sales, recording of collections, recording of payments. So for example, in a single day, there may be so many transactions for sales and purchases. So to avoid confusion in repeatedly recording recurring kanang balik-balik na transactions and to reduce recording time, you may use special journals. So special journals are designed as a simple way to record the most frequently occurring transactions. So the use of these journals permits division of labor where the recording step can be delegated among different personnel and also reduces recording time. That's why in big companies they have this department for accounts receivable. They also have this department for accounts payable. They also have this purchasing department, sales department. So they can uh, work on the specific nga area. So pwedeng ma-delegate ang task, especially on the recording of transaction. So there are 4 types of special journals. We have the sales journal, the purchases journal, cash receipts, and the cash payments journal. So the sales journal is used to record sales on account. So remember, this would be on account. How about those sales, ma'am, wherein we receive cash? If that is the case, then that would be part of the cash receipts. Kay naamay na receive na cash. Okay? So again, sales journal is used for recording sales on account. But it does not mean because sales ang iyahang pangan is tanang types of sales or tanang sales transaction, only those that are on account. Because if we receive cash for that transaction, that would be part of the cash receipts journal. The purchases journal will be used to record the purchases of merchandise and inventory on account. So whenever we buy merchandise on account, we record that in the purchases journal. How about, ma'am, if we purchase merchandise for cash? So since nag-credit man ta og cash, unya na man tay payment of cash, then that will belong to the cash payment journal. So not all of the purchases will be recorded in the purchases journal because if the purchase is for cash, we record it on the cash
Welcome back to
payment
Financial
journal.
Accounting and
Okay.
Reporting. For today, I will
Then we have
demonstrate to
the
you
cash
how we will prepare
receipts journal. So this is used for recording all transactions which involve a receipt of cash. So whatever type of transaction, as long as there is a receipt of cash, we record that in the cash receipts journal. So whether na maligyata, it's a collection, there's a reimbursement, and so on. So basta na ay debit to cash, you record that in the cash receipts journal. On the other hand, if we pay for anything na malit bata, bayad bag utang, nag-release bata og money for refund and so on. Basta na ay credit to cash, that will be recorded in the cash payments journal, or they also call it as cash disbursements journal, CDJ. We also have the general journal. So if na special, na ay general journal. So the transactions that cannot be recorded in the special journals are recorded in the general journal. So if it does not qualify to any of the 4 special journals, then we put it in the general journal. The general journal is the master journal that all company transactions or journal entries are recorded in. Okay. So these are example formats for the different journals. Example lang siya because companies have their own versions and own templates for the special journals depending on the specific transactions involved in their company. So, kung naa sila mga other account titles, pwede man nilang i-appeal sa ilahang journal. And pwede pong lahi ang arrangements sa mga columns, pwede po lahi ang mga accounts nga ibutang ani, so long as na-follow gihapon tong idea nga pag sales journal na siya, that's for sales on account. If it's purchase on account, then that will be part of the purchases journal. If there's payments, then that's cash payments journal. If there are receipts, then cash receipts journal. So, pwedeng mag-add sila additional columns kung na ay other account titles nga appropriate for those transactions. So, these are just examples for sales journal. So, we have the date column, customer, invoice. They can also add other details to identify their customer. Then you have the posting reference where you can counter check this record with other books of accounts. Then we have the debit and credit columns. Okay, sometimes also they exchange the columns. They put the credit here and then the debit here. It depends on the company. So for this one, we have the debit is accounts receivable and then we have credit sales because diba, sales journal is for sales on account. And that's why there's also a column here for the output tax for the VAT, value added tax. Then you have the purchase journal. So we have the supplier name, from whom ta nipalit, and of course the date of the transaction, invoice number, which is also an important information to know kung unsa man to nga specific nga purchase ato ang gibayaran ay gibayaran giutang di ay nangutang ta og goods. Okay? Unya unsa tong aton dapat bayaran in the future. So mag-base na siya sa invoice number. Then, payment terms. Okay, so, unsa man siya, payable within 30 days. Is there a discount? So on. Is there a trade discount? So, you put it in the terms. Then, posting reference. Then, credit accounts payable because, of course, this is all on account. Then, you debit purchases. Then, if there are other account titles that you can put in here because sometimes they also put other purchases in the purchase journal, not only for inventory. So, for example, they bought supplies. They also put it in the purchase journal and you will put it in the column of the account title and then place the amount. Why do they put the purchase of supplies, ma'am, in the purchases journal? Because ang tanang magong accounts payable makita diri. Okay, so tanang accounts payable makita diri. Dili man siya makita sa receipts journal, di man na siya makita dito sa uh, payments journal. Although pag magbayad ta mag-debit tag accounts payable, but this journal will summarize all of our outstanding accounts payable for easy reference para mas dali ma-identify pila may total nato nga accounts payable. So diri ibutang sa purchases journal. So in some references in some books, they also include mga purchase of supplies, purchase of equipment. They also put that in the purchases journal as long as ang credit niya is on account, accounts payable. Then we have the cash receipts journal. So all forms of collections from whatever sources, they put it in the receipts journal. Whether nangolekta ta, natihalin for cash, or nangutang tag money, o yan na releasan ta, the proceeds will be recorded in the receipts journal. So you have the date, you have the particulars, so description of the transaction, then you have the PR account code, cash, sales discount if this is a collection of cash, if this is a collection of accounts receivable. Then we have sales, then credit accounts receivable, So sales, if this is a cash sales, accounts receivable, if this is a collection of accounts receivable, or other accounts, if in case this is related to other transactions wherein there's a receipt of cash. For example, borrowings na ay borrowings. So for example, this is proceeds of a loan. Okay, so there is other accounts. Next would be the cash disbursement journal. So since this is payment, so na I check number because accordingly, we need to use checks for payments for proper control. So but if your company is not that big, so of course it would not be also practical to use checks, especially if the payments are very minimal. But in big companies, they have this checks. Okay, they issue checks, and so you need to track the check numbers that represent the payments for different transactions. So it's what they. Then particulars, okay, you put the description, posting reference, account code, and then these are examples of transactions related to cash disbursements. So pwedeng we pay account, accounts payable. Pwede put other accounts like we purchase land, okay, land for cash. So ibutang nimo diri debit land, okay, diri ang amount. So you write their land and then you credit cash. So, ano po mo siya ibutang. Then, you have purchase discount if there is discounts on the payment of accounts payable. Then, again, the general journal is the journal for those that were not qualified in any of the four special journals. Okay, then you have the entries, so debit, credit. So, this is the ordinary journal entry, and then you place the balances here, whether it's a credit balance or a debit balance. Okay. So look at the following transaction for Foosball Town. State the type of journal to be used in recording the transactions. July 5, sold 5,000 of merchandise inventory. So with terms 1 over 15 and 30. So if the problem has a terms, okay, usually we can assume that this is on account. Diba? Kay, ngano mo hatag mag-terms nga payable within 15 days kung nibayad siya dayon, diba? So this is on account. So therefore, since this is sold to, diba? Sold to, so kita ang namaligya ani. So what would be the special journal to be used? That would be the sales journal. Then, July 6, paid shipping cost. So, pag na-payment, automatic. Pag payment, asa na siya? That's cash disbursements or cash payments journal. July 10, sold for cash. So, kay namaligya man ta for cash, so may ma-receive na to. So, mag-debit ta og cash. So, that's part of the cash receipts journal. July 12, purchase. And then we have the terms. So, therefore, this is on account. So, that would be purchases journal. Receive payment. So, if we receive payment, so maka-receive tag money. So, that's cash receipts journal. Then, returned merchandise damage. So, what will be the entry for that? So, kung kita ang nag-return, so that would be debit to accounts payable and credit purchase returns. So, wala man, dili man siya purchase on account because this is a return man. So, dili siya mabelong sa purchases journal because the purchases journal is only intended if we buy on account. Pero kani, return man siya, so dili siya mabelong sa purchase journal. Dili po siya matawag nga, wala po siya transaction that involve cash, so it cannot qualify either sa cash disbursement or cash receipts. So, asa siya padung, ato siya sa general journal. Paid utility, payment. So, pag may payment, cash disbursement journal. Paid for July 15 purchase. So, payment gihapon, cash disbursements journal. Sold merchandise, terms. So, that would be sales journal. If you like this video, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated with the latest video lessons. Thank you for watching.